Hey everyone, I wanted to make a video talking about a language that is outside of California indigenous languages, that's outside of European ones and things like that. This one I decided to learn because I am super fascinated with the culture and the history and things like that. And even um, some like my music that I listen to. If you notice, I wear a lot of band shirts. Today's Pink Floyd, but like I have this heavy metal band. They're called Nile, and they talk about ancient Egypt and super crazy music. But anyways, that's not about them today. But it is about Egypt. That is because I am trying to learn the Middle Egyptian language. So, for those that don't know, the Egyptian language was went through phases. So we have like ancient Egyptian, and then there's a Middle Egyptian and late Egyptian, and then Coptic, which is the last stage of the Egyptian language before, um, Arabic became the dominant language in Egypt. So I am learning Middle Egyptian, and I'm using this book. I found it from I've seen it online. People recommended this one, and actually, my local university had it in the library, and that's this book here, Middle Egyptian, by James P. Allen, An Introduction to the Language and Culture of Hieroglyphs. Let me say this though before I go any further. For me, learning the hieroglyphics is not super important. So right now, the book has the hieroglyphs and it has the transliteration of them. Um, Hopefully later on I'll pick up some hieroglyphs like like the squiggle is N and the bird is Ein and stuff like that. So I'm hoping to pick up later on, but I'm not gonna study the hieroglyphs then learn the language. I am just gonna just go straight into it. So the other day I finished chapter 4, I believe, which is nouns. Yeah, nouns. So you learn you know, the plurals and so and actually Egyptian has dual, so and things like that. So I went over that. But one thing that is tough and was interesting at the time is that hieroglyphs didn't write vowels, so they only it seems like a bunch of consonants. So let me show you. I'll put up the example that I'm going to read, and then how people go about doing it now, say trying to read it or speak it. So there's this quote here. Let's see if I can find it. Sorry. Yeah, here. So I'm gonna put the quote up here, what it looks like written down. Now, of course, not in hieroglyphs, but this is the transliteration, and it looks like just somebody just slamming on a keyboard. But what people do to obviously, you're not gonna say jink, right? So what people do is they put in between parts that are hard to read. So this is actually, and the J actually doesn't even make a sound. So this would be pronounced enek. So enek. And then it's not niswut. It's this, I would say niselt, right? So I put the E in between the NS and then the S and W. Because I'm not going to say nisewet. Because you could say wut, niselt. Boom, like that. So I don't feel the need to like add the E in between everything, because I feel like with some consonant clusters, like consonant next to each other, you could say it without a problem. So this would be pronounced enek neselt jedel erel, which means I am a king whose words command action. So it's just really fascinating to me. There was another one, but I didn't write it down. But anyways, I am trying to understand the Egyptian language, and this is in the same realm, of course, as Latin. Right? People learn Latin. People learn ancient Greek. Well, this is for me just as fascinating. And the fact that we have so much material and people studying Egyptian and stuff, and that we can actually learn, a bit of the language. Of course, again, do we know how it's pronounced? No. It's like, Latin, we have some idea, but people there's really no, I don't know how to say it, but Egyptian, it's just, you know, try to be as authentic as possible. And the closest that we have to kind of, the real deal in a way is Coptic, but Coptic, the difference between, Middle Egyptian and Coptic, or Ancient Egyptian and Coptic, is the same as Latin to modern day Italian. So it's like different, you know what I mean? Like, so, this is as close as we can get to the authentic Egyptians, the way, pharaohs of the time spoke. So it's super exciting to me, and hopefully I get to share some cool things with you down the line. But that's all for now. Hope you guys are staying safe, and hope you guys are cool, and I'll see you later.